Oh, that would be really funny. And now we are underway.
All right. Whoa.
Yeah, very interesting find right off the bat. The start cave has a sword, but it's the magical sword.
Yeah, like I said, take a look at Crim. He has got the blue side on, so he is playing as the inferior model here.
So, yep, your instincts were absolutely correct, TGE.
Although I do have to say, that little shield it's holding is positively adorable.
Yeah, I was thinking about the little shield that Link has in the Minish Cap. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, I completely agree with you, TGE.
Oh, press up A now for 250 rupees, meaning we have a choose anyone, and opting to pick the candle there is CoreZero, and I 100% agree with that, especially finding things early. But I'm also going to agree 100% with the fact that Crim's about to grab the sword over in Vanilla level 3.
Beautiful. So both of them have an early weapon pickup, of course. We have CoreZero with the candle who will do some early excavating, but he finds a level first of all, potentially level 5 maybe?
Let's take a look here. Nope, definitely not 5. Could be either, based on this setup, 6 or 7 right now.
Well, if it is level 7, we'll see what kind of enemy set's going to be in store, because as I like to call it, level 7 is 33 rooms of pure torture. And, ooh, we see some orange Landmolas already.
We know what Landmolas mean.
Means big trouble.
Means Wizrobes.
And when there's Wizrobes, there's pancakes. So speaking of which, we got another level discovery.
And that's going to be something, unfortunately, that unless there is a way to to unfortunately get in from the right-hand side, there is no way that... oh, look at that. I forgot you could do that. That's beautiful. They're opting to get the key unlocked by screen scrolling and immediately turning back around. Excellent move there by Crim.
Beautiful move indeed. And potentially level 3.
And finding the key there, so he at least can progress further. And yeah, this is looking a whole lot like level 3, and I do want to mention, because I have to mention every time here, we are in the Frozen Color Scheme dungeon here.
Yes, indeed, the Elsa colors, as you like to call it. So what he's going to be looking for is a corridor staircase. That staircase is going to have the item. Ooh, speaking of good items, he's found the Triforce right on the ground by itself.
Yeah, we have both runners now at 4 hearts, because where Crim found one on the floor in level 3, over in the Dead Woods, Core found one in one of the burnable bushes. Now he's about to find the sword as well.
He'll be happy about that, because remember, he picked up the candle, so now he's got both the weapon and the burning device to excavate Hyrule. Ooh, just missed the full clear on the Troll Handler, but gets it on the second shot.
My only issue right now, and I love the Elsa Color Scheme dungeon, but am I the only one having an issue seeing where Crim is on the screen?
Yeah, because he blends in perfectly.
Blends
yes, indeed. Got some wall masters to deal with who also blend with the Elsa colors. Here's Reverse C, but in this case, Reverse C is not a staircase room. Again, he's looking for...
drop.
That is true.
Unfortunately, not the drop he was looking for.
Yeah, map's not going to really help him here. But he does find a key in that room full of ropes. And now we see that CoreZero has made his way to that same level 3.
Yep, and for everybody wondering, you aren't going to see a bit of a color scheme difference. That is just based on the settings that each runner is using for whatever device they're using to play the game on.
Indeed, and that has actually fooled me a few times. In fact, we saw a color scheme fool me into thinking we saw the inferior model when it was actually Lord Banana.
And oh shoot, Crim isn't getting caught in the horizontal shoot room, which means because he doesn't have sword beams, he's going to have to go back and take the long way around. And ooh, look at that.
Nice hint.
Yeah, Moblin has a white sword close to start, so that's something to be looking forward to.
Wow, all 3 swords are bunched in this seed. That is quite weird, but hey, they'll take it. And it looks like we found our first secret of the match. CoreZero has it. Let's see how much it's worth. It's worth 87 rupees. So he's found one of the 3 large secrets. A little bit under the 100 that you normally see, but still pretty good money for Core.
Better than the one that I did last night where the large secret was 56.
Ooh, that's almost the lowest you could possibly have, because I believe, if I remember correctly, the high secret can be worth anywhere from 50 rupees all the way up to 150 rupees.
Yep, and also Crim getting a nice hint there telling him that Gleeok lurks in the forest, so he knows that when he's looking for level 4, he has to go into the woods over by the fairy fountain where vanilla level 2 and vanilla level 8 are normally found.
CoreZero trying to do that screen scroll right here in the dead woods where that staircase is. Not having some luck, though. Oh, and CrimsonAvix takes one, and he's going to have to try level 3 again.
And that just goes to show you that Lord Banana is the true superior model there, because the Gorilla was throwing Lord Banana while Crim is in the colors of the inferior model.
Yep. So it looks like maybe the tables have turned on this inferior model, wouldn't you say, TG?
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Meanwhile, CoreZero is in the graveyard near the location of Vanilla Magical Sword. I would believe he'll make a play towards Vanilla level 6 very shortly. We'll see what's behind that gravestone. Ooh, it's a penalty. This is a stick-up. It's going to cost him the standard 20 rupees, though.
Let's see if Krem can make his way through the blue gorillas here, and does manage to make it to the door to find, well, a room with some bombs. He can pick those up on the way out if he wants them. And finally, up at the top, let's see what we get. Come on, Lord Banana, Lord Banana, Lord Banana. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
CoreZero finds a medium secret for 25 rupees, again below the average. What is it? It's the bow!
That's a good find, especially early.
Indeed, because now if he were to purchase some arrows, he could make quick work of those Pole's voices, plus very useful on those Gomas. And look at this, level 9 has been discovered by CoreZero.
Yep, that's a good find, especially early, so you don't have to be going back searching for it later. I also do want to point out real quick over on Crim's side that you notice that every time he picks up an item, the color scheme shifts back to the normal color. So this just goes to show you, even the game knows that the true one Lord Banana is the yellow one.
Wow, expensive bombs in this seed. 31 rupees for a set of 4 bombs. Did you see the price of that magical shield? A whopping 179.
I saw one that was 180 yesterday, but the meat is fairly cheap at 45.
Yeah, so at least something's going right in terms of the economy in Hyrule this time. Another secret found, and it's the second large secret for CoreZero for another 87 rupees. He has 136. Yet another secret found by CoreZero. How much is that going to be worth? 15. So we found the amount of the small secrets is actually worth 5 more than the regular 10 rupees. So got some decent money going on in this seed.
Yeah, see, that's one of the good things here is getting money, or especially lots of money early. It means if you find something like arrows or cheap meat, as we saw Core buy earlier, it's definitely something to take a look at.
And the rich just keep on getting richer. CoreZero finds another 25 rupee secret. So he's got 178 to his name and approaching blue ring territory. Ooh, but his trek to Death Mountain is going to end right there as he got bodied by, it looks like, those blue levers. He'll have to start over.
We have now Crim getting some rupees into that level 6, and he is going to be finding the location of level 9 very quickly here.
CoreZero bombing up, and 235 rupees, so a fairly cheap blue ring, a 69 rupee blue candle. He's already got the candle, though, so that's not in play.
Now, when he's bombing around here, because he got the hint of the white sword being close to start, so he's hoping that he finds it and gets it for 4 hearts.
What he does find is a warp zone, a take any road, so that's a very important find for him. Look at the color of that shield on Crimson's side.
Lord Banana, superior race.
So now CoreZero is going to try and figure out where all of these roads take him to and see if there are any good warps.
2 of them directly next to each other. Oh, the one good thing about that second one is it's that spot that's northwest of 1. And a lot of people tend to forget, wow, 3 in a row, a line of 3 warps in a row. That has got to be probably the worst warp zone I've ever seen.
Boy, what are the odds? Never tell these guys the odds. That is unbelievable. Now, Crimson is going to find out the same thing with his warps. Ooh, another new level discovered here by Core. In vanilla level 1. Wouldn't it be something if it was level 1?
Oh, if it would, we all know what has to happen.
Well, we know it's not level 3 because level 3 has already been discovered. There's that chance, so we're going to find out shortly. Going through a room. Ooh, there is a good chance it could be level 1.
That is level 1, and so we all know what this means. Fred!
And the magical wand is the item all by itself. So that is one of the 2 items that Core is looking for. He's got a wand, very useful item to have. It does the same amount of damage that a white sword does. Plus, the range is fantastic, the entire room. Also, the other item he's going to be looking for is going to be in the diamond-shaped staircase, and we'll see what it's going to be in just a moment. He's found the heart container. He's got 5.
Crim now, meanwhile, has found what we believe is level 6. And yes, I said it. Go ahead, tack one up in the chat.
And there's the Triforce sitting there all by itself. Man, oh man, an easy level 1. So all he's got to do is find the diamond-shaped staircase, and he's going to be done with level 1. My goodness, back-to-back-to-back rooms.
Crim opting to nope out of what we believe is level 6, and definitely a good idea. Well, 1, considering he doesn't have a whole lot of arsenal, and 2, he kind of died.
And Dodongo dwells along the river, so we now know the location of the vicinity, rather, of level 2. And there's not many places to discover when you see along the river.
Actually, we can pretty much guarantee where it is at this point because we've already seen 2 of the locations, so it has to be in the waterfall.
Yes, indeed. Again, not too many locations when you see that river, so we've eliminated the other 2. Automatically has to be in the waterfall, as you said, TGE. You see that Crimson finds that same white sword hint that CoreZero discovered earlier.
And now we've got the diamond staircase for Core. Let's see what we can find down here. Ooh.
Big find for CoreZero. It's the ladder.
Yeah, so that's going to put him in a huge advantage here, having the increased attack power available from the wand and having the ladder, which means he's not going to be blocked out of anywhere. And assuming that the ladder item on the coast is something decent, he'll be able to grab that as well. However, we also have the white sword being grabbed by Crim, and it is a 5-heart white sword. So at this point, next time that Core goes back to start, he can also doubly increase his attack power.
Wow, look at the spread between all 3 swords. It's pretty much 5 screens between each other. Amazing. And it's mission accomplished here for CoreZero. Picks up the first Triforce for him. Both of them have 1 Triforce piece.
Got another level for Crim here, and we're getting a lot of the light blue color palettes. Apparently the game wants Crim. It would be very hard for Crim to take a look at his sprite.
Either that or they're just a huge fan of the movie Frozen, and it's level 6.
So that means the level we thought was 6 over on the other side was in fact 7.
Yes, indeed, by process of elimination. And another free cave find for Core. He picks up another heart container, giving him 6, which now in his mind knows he's guaranteed to pick up the white sword. Of course, we know that it's no more than 5 hearts. And there is that discovery of the white sword. $192 rupees. Is he going to do some shopping? No, he's not. Ooh, just got sorted by that blue Lionel did Core. Ooh, this Dodongo does not want to play very nicely with Crimson here.
Oh, so remember we said about Core having the advantage because he had the ladder? Well, that means he's going to be able to get the Triforce here out of 6 as Crim is ladder blocked from it because it's in the island room.
Ouch, not good news for Crimson. Yes, that is going to be a sight to see for CoreZero. He'll be able to pick that up. So his only objective now is he's got to find what that item is. So going to continue to explore level 6, as is Crimson.
Interesting thing about items is the 2 quote-unquote freed items that we find on the overworld. We still haven't found either one of them yet. We don't know what the Armos item is going to be, nor do we know what the ladder item is, or the coast item.
Shocking, considering we're almost 16 minutes into this race and we know what neither one of them are. We'll see if this Dodongo treats Core any better than it did Crimson. Now, Dodongo is trapped on that right side, so it should be easy killings, and indeed it is. He picks up the maximum complement of bombs and now discovers the Triforce in that island room himself, but he's going to avoid it for now. Good strategy there. He's going to try and find that item, but he's out of keys. So you got to keep that in mind. Very timely fairy find by CoreZero, giving him 5.5 hearts, while Crimson's down to just 2 hearts.
Again, the ladder coming into play for Core as he's able to explore a little bit more, but we may have found a... nope. This is, we may have found the item room here, but there is a shutter door, which means it cannot be the staircase room.
Yep, not this time. There's still a chance. Well, he's now found the single block room, and Crimson, or CoreZero rather, has discovered the other double block room.
Well, let's take a look. See, Crim's going to tell us exactly what we're going to be looking for here, and Core is in the item room.
Yes, indeed.
No, he's not in the item room. He's not
oh,
in the item room. No.
We both got faked out.
Yes, we did.
And CoreZero's now playing with power. He just found the community hint with the old NES ad.
Crim has now found his 6th heart, and he is looking for the corridor staircase here. Speaking of, there it is, guarded by 3 little tiny gels. And what do we have here? We have got the red candle.
That's an important find for Crimson, because he did not have a candle yet.
Yes, he did, because he had to burn to get the white sword.
Ah, that is true. Now, did he pick that up? Yes, he did.
I mean, red candle is definitely something interesting to have because it allows you to continue to constantly burn things such as keys or gels or vires when you come into a room where you can't necessarily reach them. It also gives you a weapon against wall masters if they happen to have bubbles in the room.
And of course, it's nice to have if you're not the greatest shot in the world of burning down bushes, because the red candle means you can use it as many times as you want on a single screen.
We're going to be finding just how trolly this staircase he just found was. Going to take him just 2 rooms away. But we're going to get another heart for Crim, and that's going to put his total up to 8.
Wow, Crimson rolling in health right now. He's now just 2 hearts away from a potential magical sword pickup. And we see that Crimson's now heading for level 1. He's going to be happy to discover both of these items that are waiting for him.
So as much as I despise the color palette, I do have to say I like the use of the wand here because every good lord and king needs a scepter.
Absolutely. I mean, every ruler's got to have something like that. I completely agree with you there, TGE. So he's going to find the back-to-back-to-back items. The heart container's coming up in this room. Speaking of heart containers, CoreZero has found the heart container in level 6, giving him 7 hearts.
Crim 1 heart away from next time he up A's on the overworld to be able to try out the magical sword, because that's right at start.
Yep, and then again in Zelda Randomizer, you'll need somewhere between 10 hearts and 14 hearts to pick up magical swords. So you'd have a 20% chance when he finds his next heart container. And there's the corridor find for CoreZero. It's the red candle, and he's going to go ahead and pick it up as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree, considering both of them delve deep into level 6 to find that item. So I 100% agree with, unless it was something that you really didn't want, book, or either of the two boomerangs, you're going to grab it at this point.
Yeah, it's early enough in the race that the red candle still has some value to it. So, yep, I agree with that. It's a very nice pick up this stage of the game.
I'm now going to find the all-important ladder, but first that key's telling him, no way, you do not get to block clip on my watch.
Yeah, that key's doing some good tackling there, but it finally perseveres and does get that ladder that he'll need to get that Triforce in level 6. Speaking of Triforces, level 6 Triforce has been picked up by CoreZero. That's his second one.
Yeah, the tackling that Keith was doing was reminding me of watching the Oakland Raiders play back a couple of years ago.
And there's a heart container pickup for Core. That'll give him 8.
Yeah, this is a very heart-healthy seed. It's definitely been eating its Cheerios.
And there's the smoky message in the money-making game for CoreZero. Not going to play with 219 rupees. No point in this stage.
Finally going to get some exploration of these sections down in the forest and up around the desert area. And oh, would you look at that? We've got another level.
Potentially level 8, maybe?
Yep.
All right, so this is level 8. So they're going to be looking for 2 items in this level. Both of them are going to be behind staircases.
Yep, and the staircases that we're looking for in 8, we have 2 diamond staircases, a spiral stair, and a corridor stair. And ooh, we've got some Dig Dogger.
Ooh, and there's a shutter blocking his way, so a potential recorder block here.
And Crim right behind Core, entering into level 8.
It's amazing that these players have discovered the same dungeons and now they're following each other's tracks. Unbelievable.
All kinds of high fives happening right now, though I'm not really sure how one can high five a banana.
I'm sure they could figure out some ways, but that's neither here nor there to discuss. And another recorder blocked area. Can he bomb his way through up or to the left? Yep. Actually, now that I think about it, this was the same block that CoreZero was in earlier, because he's now in that trio of Dodongo's rooms again. Both in that same room now.
Crim getting some bombs out of feeding the hungry Dodongos, and they're going to move in and find some more gorillas.
So it is a nice gorilla set for level 8 as opposed to our favorite lovely pancakes Wizrobe set in level 8.
Hey, all I know is at this point I'm looking forward to Crim getting eaten by a like because there's nothing more delicious than banana pancakes.
You're making me hungry now. Is it time for breakfast yet? Yeah, just give me some chocolate chips on those banana pancakes and I'm set.
Anyway, now that we are all hungry and drooling on our keyboards, we're going to get back to the commentary, and both of them in this dark room with gorillas everywhere.
And both of them are at that same diamond staircase where they're going to find, oh, it's just another corridor to another part. They're going to skip it, or at least Crimson's going to skip it. CoreZero, however, is going to take the staircase.
So Core is going to give us some information about needing that being the corridor stair. So we now know that when we come across the other diamond staircase and the spiral staircase, that we know we'll find the items. Getting the hint, of course, of Aquamentus awaiting by a lake, but we knew that already.
Yep, that is old news, TGE. Both of them have completed level 1.
And oh, take a look at this down on Core's side. He opts to go to the left in those last 2 rooms. He's going to not only find the Triforce in one of the rooms, but he's also going to find the spiral staircase, opting to play it safe here with the wand. And I like that play, considering he's only got 3 hearts right now.
In addition, he found another heart container, so he too has 9 hearts to his name. And yeah, I like this use of the wand as well, because you're not going to be hit by those boomerangs. Let's see what's behind that spiral staircase. Oh, look at this, the magical key.
That's a huge find, because as you mentioned at the beginning here, keys have been a huge deciding factor recently.
So that means keys will not be a factor anymore for CoreZero, so that could affect the drama in level 9, but hey, you never know. Zelda might be the world-class hide-and-seek champion yet again, so stay tuned.
Core opting to take the Triforce. It's going to be interesting to see if he goes back in here to search for the second item. I know I would, but then again, that's why I don't play. I just sit back here and talk.
Well, he is going to make a play back to level 8. Ooh, Crimson's got to be careful. Down to just 1.5 hearts. Makes quick work of that Aquamentus, though, and finds the normal Triforce room where there's just a key.
Well, it's better than, sharp stick in the eye.
That is true, TGE. It's better than nothing, and hey, he doesn't know that the magical key is here yet, but yeah, he's going to be happy to discover that if he gets there.
Has the sense here that this might be potentially a recorder block second item. I'm not sure about the entire path yet, but Crim's taken out a fair chunk of level 8 already.
CoreZero's going to head north just to find the same hint that Crimson discovered. That's old news to him as well. Crimson's about to discover the good news here behind that spiral staircase if he doesn't get bodied by these gorillas. Oh, a nice clock drop.
And there is the magic key. Crim, I get Crim's video up here, and he is completely no-selling the fact that he just found the magical key there. Absolutely no reaction.
I wonder if he's disappointed he found it with so many keys on the board, but he shouldn't be disappointed. It's always nice to have the A key, the sooner the better. We see that Crimson has picked up the Triforce in level 8, so they both have 3 Triforce pieces. Now, will he make another play to go back into level 8 like Core did? The answer is yes. Boy, I'm telling you, TGE, it's starting to look more and more like that second item could be recorder block indeed, and who knows what that second item might be.
Well, if it's recorder blocked, I can guarantee you one thing: it's not the recorder.
I would sure hope not, TGE, because if it's the recorder, we've got ourselves a huge problem. But what if it's the silver arrows?
Ooh, that's always a fun conjecture to make.
Tell you what, it would be so interesting if silver arrows indeed were the second item, because it's looking like both of them now realize that second item is indeed recorder blocked, so it is a mystery. But meanwhile, Crimson has picked up the wooden arrows for 89 rupees, so now he can go firing away on those Poles' voices.
Unfortunately, out of the bombs, he's going to have to make his way up the coast as a sad little banana and, well, run into some moblins, so hopefully they give him some bombs. But aside from that, he's just going to have to pick up the coast item and be content with whatever it is.
Again, we're now almost 30 minutes and we have not discovered either the Armos or the ladder item on the coast, but he's down to half a heart. Gotta be careful. Does find bombs.
So that is at least good. He does have the explosives he's going to need.
Gotta watch out for those red levers and that Zola fireball. The coastal item is the raft.
Unfortunately, getting a hint there from the shop telling you what Aquamenus awaits with, but we know the answer to that. It's the wand and the ladder.
That is correct. So he's going to try one of the 46 rupee ones, step over the water to reach the raft, but that's old news too! Oh, legitimate hints, but those end up being troll hints for Crimson. Too bad.
Yeah, the Crim's reaction there was priceless. Just nothing too crazy, just a subtle little head shake and a little dejected look of...
Much cheaper magical shield in that store. It's only 100 rupees there. And we see that CoreZero's also purchased some arrows, so now he too can be shooting at those Poles voices and those Gomas.
And Crim is in level 4.
Ooh, so the infamous breakfast room could be coming to play very shortly, because that may be where that item is.
Yes, but thankfully it'll be a nice, healthy breakfast full of darkness as opposed to Wizrogues.
Yeah, but unfortunately those Darknuts just bodied Crimson, so he's going to have to start over.
And the reason he's going back in here, of course, is because level 4 only has 2 rooms that have drops that aren't lying out on the ground, and this room happens to be one of them.
Yes, indeed. The Gliok room would be one of those 2 rooms. You're absolutely right, TGE, so he's going to take care of these blue Darknuts. He's got 4 hearts. And now we see that CoreZero is picking up the raft, so... There's 2 locations in Hyrule where you can use the raft, and sometimes there might be levels behind those raft spots, so you will check those. Now he's going to make a play on the hints as well that Crimson just tried. No, he's not. He's getting out of dodge.
Early Triforce there in 4, so with it being so easy to find and being right there on the open, I definitely agree with Crim's play to see what the item here in 4 is.
Ooh, CoreZero not having much luck with those blue Linos, taking a lot of damage there.
Snazzy little block clip there in the diagonal room to get through the Gliok, and got a little nervous there, saw a black room, thought we might be bait blocked, but...
And it now looks like that CoreZero has discovered the same level 4.
He's going to be equally as disappointed when he clears this room out to find a key. And speaking of clearing rooms out to find things, we have found... Ooh! Look at that!
It's the red ring, a huge find here for Crimson. That'll reduce his damage all the way down to 1/4. So both of these players, I would assume, are going to find that red ring, and they're going to be quite pleased to find that. His defense is everything in level 9.
I also want to point out there, take a look. Crim has done something with the sprite to make it permanently blue.
Unbelievable!
So even though he has the red ring and you can see the real color of the sprite when he picks up the Triforce, he is going to remain permanently blue. The troll is real.
Wow, I must say, I got to give Crimson a lot of credit for the sprite design here. He did a fantastic job with his inferior model.
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have him send me that sprite when this is over, because that's amazing.
CoreZero's got to be careful here. He has found the double block room as well, but he's down to 1 heart, and if he takes a hit from these Gibdos, he's gone.
This is one of the benefits of having the both the wand and the red candle here, because they will give the Gibdos knockback, at least the red candle will, so you can actually stay fairly far away from them. Same thing with the wand, of course, with the projectile. Wait a second. Is this what I think it is? We saw the hint that 2 was in the 4. Is this... No, okay, good. But see, if that was 2 in its own spot, I was going to be a little bit upset. But the single block room confirms we're in 5.
Speaking of which, the red ring has been picked up by CoreZero, so now his damage is reduced down to 1/4. Yep, level 5 it is. Well, what is it with enemies on the other side of that red river?
Looks like we have another stream hiccup from Crim, so be patient. We'll get it back to you as soon as we can.
And a Triforce pickup here for CoreZero, so now he's got 4 Triforce pieces. They're tied in that department. They're neck and neck. Ooh, the Triforce is in the T room, and he does not have to do that difficult ladder clip to pick it up.
So Crim opting to go back in to find the item, and again, I agree with this, because you're going to want to go back into these smaller dungeons first, as opposed to going back and trying to, probe through 7. Of course, at this point, the way this has been so far a fairly easy seed, you know what's going to happen, don't you? Is the recorder is going to be the item buried deep in 7, and the silvers, as you said, are going to be the item that's recorder blocked in 8.
Yeah, this is going to turn this seed from a sub-hour seed to about a 90 to 100-minute seed.
Other thing of note for Crim here is he now does have 10 hearts, so the next time he is at the start screen, he can opt to make a play for mags.
Yes, that is correct, but I don't believe he's found the heart container in level 5 yet, because I think he had picked it up in the previous level. Empty Eye reminding me of one of the nicknames I used to give the inferior model. Yes, the blueberry banana.
Now, Crim resigned to the fact that he is going to have to take the staircase to get to the second half of the lizard.
Again, both of them in the same dungeon yet again. This is insane. I've never seen so many dungeons being followed by the same players in the same seed.
This is actually the second race in a row where I've seen it, because the one I called last night was the exact same thing, just high fives all over the place.
I got a feeling that these 2 races may be BFF before this race is over with. Old news there for Crimson. Manhandler threatened with the bow, and ooh, bait blocked. He's got the bait though. Does CoreZero?
And I love the fact that it's a wall master sprite, so you're basically just giving a piece of meat to a giant hand.
I don't know if that's kind of funny or kind of creepy. And there's a heart container pickup for CoreZero, so now he too has 10 hearts.
Yes is the answer.
Finding the diamond staircase, the item in level 5 is the croissant, aka the power bracelet.
Crim also going to come across the exact same item here.
We'll see if that power bracelet does come into play, but with so few levels left to discover, the odds are looking slim at this point.
Yeah, the only level left to discover here is going to be level 2, and we know from the hint we saw earlier that it's somewhere in the forest.
I love that community hint there. Patra has the map or something, kill him and find out. It's almost like something else that I'm reminded of from a long time ago, but that's another story for another stream. Crimson, in the northeastern part of Hyrule, what is behind there? It's the letter. So with this letter, he can show it to anybody in a potion shop, and he'll be able to buy potions there. But I don't think we've seen potion shops from either player, have we, TGE?
I do not believe we have, or if we did, it was very early and we weren't focusing on it.
That's very true. Well, look at this. Fred! There's a money-making game behind Vanilla money-making game.
That moment when things being not randomized is more random than normal.
Yes, indeed, GGE, and another 15 rupees on Crimson's side of the board. He's got 25 rupees right now. We've got CoreZero dealing with some wall masters here and just picks up rupees, nothing else of interest. Still looking for that Triforce, which, by the way, Crimson already has from level 5.
Now, what we do know, based on what we're seeing, is the Armos coming up right here in the Lost Hills. This is going to be the Armos with the item.
What do we have here? It is the book.
Oh, Crim almost grabbed it.
Yes, he
the look of
barely
relief
dodged
on his face.
Oh, he barely dodged that book. Lizzie going to be disappointed, but Crimson relieved.
The look on his face when he saw that book. Like, ah, no, God, no, not book.
Now, somebody doesn't want to be doing homework tonight. I don't care if school is out. Some people do have summer school.
Meh.
And now we see that Core's going to have to do it the hard way. He's in that tea room as well, but he's got to do that difficult ladder clip, which he does, picks up the Triforce in level 5 to tie up the score in that department yet again. What a race we've got going so far, folks.
Yep, again, the big thing is going to be we know where all the dungeons are except for 2. And of course, there's still that 33-room monstrosity of level 7 looming in the background.
Absolutely. So, still anybody's game. Now we're...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, now we're at that waterfall, but first he's going to head for Vanilla White Sword to see what's behind there.
Yeah, and that's what the hint was. It was by a river, not in the forest. Gleeok was in the forest. I knew I misremembered something. Something is by a river here.
Hey, it happens. So, yeah, there's got to be a level behind that waterfall, as you had pointed out earlier, and Crimson's going to make a play for that right now. Buys the magical shield, does CoreZero. I like this pickup. Because with the magical shield, you can deflect shots from the Zolas and, of course, the Wizrobes, so that is very handy. But he's got to be careful not to get swallowed up by a like, because if he does, and he doesn't break out of there quick enough, he's going to lose that shield.
And now we are in level 2, the one last level we were looking for, and we're going to be quickly trying to dismantle everything here to see the drop on the ground and get out of here as fast as we can. Speaking of drops on the ground, hey, look, Triforce.
Oh, look at this. CoreZero has discovered the book, and he almost picked it up, but he got bodied by those Armos, too, so he doesn't pick it up. I think he's relieved about that.
The one time where you're okay taking a hit from the Armos.
So we're 0 for 2 on the book pickup. I'm sorry, Lizzie. It just didn't work out for you this time. We find a bomb upgrade here in level 2 for the low price of 89 rupees, but Crimson doesn't have enough. Neither player has checked Magical Sword yet with their 10 hearts. And now we see that we're going to have a life refill at the Fairy Fountain for CoreZero. Heart container pickup there for Crimson. So he's got 11 hearts. He now has a 40% chance of mags if he decides to go for it.
Core, meanwhile, is going to be making a play for 7 now.
Yep, and we're going to see that level 7 is going to be a world of hurt because we saw those early powerful enemies, those Orange Land Molas. Then we saw the Goma, and we're probably going to see the set that we don't hate, but hey, he's Goma blocked. He can't do anything else there.
And I see the question in chat about why we avoid the book. Now, basically, what the book does is you see that both of the runners have the wand. Now, when the magic from the wand hits, it's just going to dissipate. With the book, when the magic from the wand hits something, it actually is going to create fire. And in this case, the fire is bad because it lingers on the screen, and you can run into it, and it doesn't work nearly as well as just the wand vanilla does.
Absolutely right. Plus, you can take damage from it as well, so that's another factor you got to be careful. So, book, while it looks very cool and snazzy, is not very helpful for these players.
Not to mention the fact that if you do have the book, you can't do the whole one-frame trick about tapping A and B together and using the wand and sword together to maximize your damage.
Yeah, and that really hurts you, especially against those patchers, because again, that sword and beam strategy. What do we have here?
You've got the silver arrows in too.
Wait, what just happened here? Crimson just retried! He lost his progress!
Are you kidding me?
No, I am not! This is at least the second occurrence I have seen happen. This is the first one I've seen, but there was an instance early in the tournament where the same thing happened to someone else. Wow, I don't believe what I just witnessed, TGE.
I don't either. This is crazy.
So I got a feeling that we're probably going to have to see a rematch between these two racers, because obviously it's a... Oh, wait, he's got everything back.
He picked file 2. He only picked file 2.
Oh, wow.
The look on his face right now is so relieved. He only picked file 2.
Man,
wow.
He is lucky to be alive in this race. It is going to cost him some time. And we also have discovered the bad news, TGE. 11 hearts, not enough for Mags. Boy, what a massive bullet dodge there by Crimson. He's going to go back to level 6, it looks like.
Yeah, because 6 is the easy to get to Triforce. He just has to go left a couple of screens and then go up, and he'll get the Triforce real quick. And then, of course, he has to go through level 7. But he has the advantage here of 7 where he doesn't have to go through and try and find the item. He can just get the Triforce and run.
Now, when he saved, was he able to keep his silver arrows in Triforce piece number 2?
I would imagine he did, but I haven't seen a pause screen yet.
There is that Triforce pickup for Crimson. So right now, presumptively, we see that Crimson now has 7 Triforce pieces. Speaking of Triforce pieces, there's a Triforce piece number 7 for CoreZero. He's now got 6 of them.
Yeah, the 2 dungeons that Core has left to find are 2 and 3, which contain the 2 biggest items he's going to need. 2 having the silver arrows and 3 having the bow.
Which means, unfortunately, TG, now that I've just realized that, that means that Recorder Block's second item is not in play.
Nope, it is not. And basically, at this point, considering what we have found, we have got the wand and the ladder from level 1, the silver arrows from level 2, the bow from level 3, the red ring from level 4, the power bracelet from 5, the red candle from 6. We don't know what's in 7. We know the any key was in 8. The book was the Armos item, and the Wrath was the ladder item. So we know that one of those 2 items left in 7 or 8 is the recorder. The other items left on the table, we have both bananas as well. And I always have trouble remembering the last one.
Heart container. Yes, heart container. A little does CoreZero know the item that he's going to find in level 7 is not going to be of much use to him. Oh,
okay. Go ahead real quick.
Wouldn't it be something if we had the double banana in level 9?
It would be. But, so I'm getting a question in chat. What's the difference between save, continue, and retry? So basically what happens is when you either die or hit up A on the second controller, it triggers a death. And you have options. Continue means you're going to restart. Now, if you were on the overworld, that means you're going to restart back at the start screen. If you're in a dungeon, you're going to restart back at the start of the dungeon. Save allows you to save your progress. So, for example, if you wanted to put the stuff down and come back at a later time, you could do that. Save also has another function with the retry, because if there happens to be some hints, for example, near the coast to start or something else, basically retry is going to take you back to your last save. So if you happen to want to buy some hints or bomb around start and don't want to waste everything, you can save, and then if nothing good comes of it, you can retry.
Very useful, especially if there's a hint cave at the front where you can just buy those hints and get your money back by doing that trick that you just mentioned, TGE. And Warlock82 just made a good point. By process of elimination, the recorder has to be the item in level 7, given that the item in level 8's recorder blocked.
Correct, and that's probably going to, well, assuming we found it, it would have sent some false information there, but now we've got Core back into level 3, where he's going to find the bow.
Yep, that's going to be a huge pickup for him. Speaking of pickups, both of them now have 12 heart containers, so now little does CoreZero know, he only has a 33% chance of picking up the magical sword, because we know that 11 hearts aren't enough. In his mind, he's thinking 60%.
Right. But yeah, chat outlined it pretty well, but the question was asked there of how, what happened to Crim is for some reason he was using the second file when he started his game, so when he restarted and automatically clicked start to go to the first file, it had no data on it.
And we see that Crimson has picked up the 8th and final Triforce piece in level 7, so he can make a play toward level 9. And given that he's got everything he needs, there's no reason to go back into level 7. He's going to try one more time of picking up Magical Sword. Can he do it now? No, sir. 12 hearts isn't enough either, TGE.
So Troy, but we are going to have a White Sword, Red Ring level 9. Now, the big thing is going to be potions.
That is correct. He's only got 39 rupees to his name, and I believe they both have discovered the letter, so... And neither one of them have found a potion shop.
We did find one potion shop. I believe it's all the way up in the northeast corner of the map.
Ah, okay. And health could be a factor, even with a red ring, so... I would assume that at this point, Crimson's going to make a play for the Fairy Fountain to refill all of his health, then go to level 9.
Well, absolutely concerned the fastest way for him to get there is to screen wrap through the Lost Woods. He has to go through the Dead Woods anyway.
CoreZero's found that corridor staircase, going to be happy and delighted to find that bow.
All right, so Steve1515, what happened is that normally runners of this game are going to use the first of the 3 file slots you have to play their game. For some reason, Crimson used the second file. So when he up-A'd and saved out of the whatever dungeon came out of 2, he instinctively chose file 1. File 1 had no data on it. So he realized afterwards that he used file 2 instead. So that's why when he went back again and selected file 2, everything was fine.
There's the Triforce pickup there for CoreZero. That's his 7th one. All he's got to do is get the one in level 2, and he'll be set for level 9.
Yeah, but we are going to have Crim with a decent-sized lead going into 9. But of course, as we all know, no lead is ever safe in 9 because paths diverge.
Absolutely, and you never know if Zelda requires that good old magical staircase, or Ganon for that matter.
I always get excited when I see the first room above where you start is dark. I'm always hoping and praying that it's going to be a one-room Ganon, just because I want to see it.
And unfortunately, CoreZero has discovered the bad news that his 12 hearts not enough to pick up mags. Antlers, yes, level 9 can be meat blocked. Indeed, we've seen that in a couple of seeds already.
But it will not be in this seed because we already did find Captain Grumbles.
Indeed, we did, TGE. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it possible that every single level has the potential of being bait blocked, or are there some levels that can't possibly be bait blocked?
Well, how it works is every level has at least one dark room with an old man in it, usually to give you hints from the vanilla game. So how the things work is all of the old men, including the Captain Grumbles room and the 2 bomb upgrades, are shuffled throughout all of the dungeons. So there is a potential for the bait to be in any of the 9 dungeons in Hyrule.
That's very interesting to know. So, yep, you never know when you're going to need that bait. Always great to be prepared. Speaking of being prepared, Crimson's got to do that difficult ladder clip to get past this T room.
Yeah, you have the question about the random and how many hearts you need to get the magic sword. Yes, both the number of hearts for the magic and white swords are randomized. In the case of the white sword, or if it's selected the white sword item, it is between 4 and 6 hearts, and the magical sword will be anywhere between 10 and 14 hearts.
And yes, the bomb upgrade shops will never be found in level 9. CoreZero, unfortunately, not heading in the right direction to get to where he needs to go, and that's level 2. He's going to take the raft location first. There is a potion shop, and yep, the exact location that you had described earlier, TGE.
Yep, so to answer the other couple of questions we've seen floating around the chat. Chat's been a pretty good job of explaining it, but for those of you who might not have been keeping up, yes, it is possible to find Zelda without killing Ganon. How we're going to figure that out is if we enter a room, there's a shutter door. It can only be a room with a single shutter door. And if after killing all the enemies, the shutter door does not open, we know that we have found Zelda. And speaking of finding Zelda, Crim has now found Zelda because he has found a compass.
Indeed, huge find for Crimson.
Absolutely. So to continue on, answering the real question, being meat blocked. Now, in the original game, there is a section of level 7 where there's a hungry gorilla who goes grumble, grumble. He requires the meat or the bait item to pass through. If you are bait blocked or meat blocked, it means you cannot progress through the dungeon without feeding the hungry, whatever it is in this case, bait.
Speaking of finding Zelda, the opposite happens after you've defeated Ganon. If you've defeated Ganon and you come across a room with a shutter, there's enemies in there, and that shutter door automatically opens, that's the location of Zelda. That won't be a factor for Crimson because, again, he knows the location of Zelda. It is flashing on the western part of level 9.
And the final question I saw is, why does nobody pick up the boomerangs? Well, there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, if they're using the select swap option. Now, the select swap option you can see Crim using right now, it means you no longer have the ability to pause the game, but in return, you can hit select to cycle through your items, similar to how some of the older Mega Man games allow you to switch through your powers without having to go into the menu. And now with the boomerangs, it is going to have more items you're going to have to select swap through, so it's, it costs a little bit of time. The other thing is the later on in the game you get, the less functionality the boomerangs have because you're going to have more and more ways to deal with enemies. Now, all boomerangs do is they can kill enemies that have 0 HP program, in this case, these small little gels and the keys, and they can stun enemies as well. Now, of course, this is going to come into play a little bit differently if there are other flags involved, but right now it is not. And speaking of other things being involved, Crim's going to have to find some bombs because he's out.
That is not a good situation to be in for Crimson because we have seen a few races lost because they kept running out of bombs. Now, we have discovered the price of potions in this seed. 40 for a red and 82 for a blue, so you're actually being ripped off by 1/20th, so 4%, 5%. So you're getting a 5% rip-off by picking the red potion, but given that he's got 94 rupees, I would assume he's going to go ahead and buy the red.
All right, yeah, I'll take the convenience fee. And Mr. Zapper, that is a custom sprite that CrimsonAvix has decided to use specifically to troll me. That is a sprite that is a dual blue banana wearing a crown, a direct reference to what I refer to the wooden boomerang as is Lord Banana. So it is a very, very special sprite for tonight.
Oh, I got something to tell you, TGE. Crimson just got hugged by a Patra. That is a chilling feeling indeed. Again, as I like to say, I'd rather get a hug from the princess.
Hey, Patras need love too.
Agreed. But then after we get into love, we just kill him, and hopefully we find a compass. But again, compass not in play on the Patras. We found the compass already.
Speaking of finding things, Core has finally found level 2.
However, it could be too little too late considering how much of level 9 that Crimson's already explored. Again, though, that magical staircase could come into play. He's been there several minutes already.
The race I called last night was actually an interesting 9 because if it was on optimal, you went up 3 screens and found Ganon. Then if you up 8 and went back to start and went 1 screen to the right of the, basically go up 1 and right 1, you found a magical staircase that took you directly to Zelda. Of course, nobody chose to take that staircase initially, so it was like a 25-minute 9, but, you know.
And that is how you can turn a 2-minute level 9 into a 25-minute level 9. All you gotta do is take the wrong turn to Albuquerque when you should have taken the turn to San Jose.
And with all this exploring that Crim is doing in 9, he is getting himself very, very close to Zelda, and we have a dark room. Could this be? I was going to say, could this be the mythical Zelda right above Ganon? No.
Well, he's found the way to get to Zelda's room, at least. So he's got that going for him. He's just got to find Ganon now. Is Ganon in Ganon's room? No. Apatra's in Ganon's room. Someone just got dethroned, TGE.
And,
oh, look at this!
Ganon, basically, that's huge!
That is unbelievable that Ganon would be in the room next to Patra. It's like, I guess Ganon was loaning Patra his own room so that he could have a clean room to do a battle in. Wow.
Ganon was just taking a spa day, and Patra decided to move in. And that's interesting because that basically is the setup you see in Vanilla, too. There's a Patra guarding Ganon.
Unbelievable. And because of this setup, this race is now going to be Crimson's. Watch out. He's down to 1 heart. A high roll driver. Half a heart left.
Stop lock. Are you kidding me? Oh,
no.
1 heart left. No.
This is going to be so close. He got him. He got him with half a heart to spare. Oh my goodness, what a fight. Remember we had a fight like that with Putz, and he was down to his last half a heart and down to his last hit.
Yeah.
Ended up getting destroyed. The exact opposite happens for Crimson, and it's going to produce him the victory right now.
Well, no, because he's got to go the long way to Zelda.
That's
he's gonna
right.
dodge the Patra again.
Oh, can he dodge this Patra, though? He's trying. He's got to kill him first. What's he doing?
He's doing his best to not get hit, and he does manage to dodge the Patra, so this is huge.
Boy, my goodness gracious, what a great fight that was between Crimson and Ganon. Crimson coming out on top. Ganon still has a half a heart, so 1 bodying, and look at the room he's in.
Oh, wow. Using the bubbles to get iframes, that's genius.
Those are some Mike Tolbert moves. Speaking of which, he finds a clock! Unbelievable! He's running lucky here, folks.
Are you kidding me right now? All of the clock!
Oh, but look at this. He's got to up A because there's no way out. So he's just going to up an A and go back to the path he came from to get to Zelda's room.
Yeah, but I think at this point we're at a magic staircase situation.
Ooh. And now we see that CoreZero is in level 9 himself. Well, Crimson does find an item. It is a heart container, so bad news. No double banana this seed.
But that is typical. Pretty much every run I've commentated on, there has been no Lord Banana sighting, so the fact that I've got to watch even an inferior model banana with a crown go through, it's been worth it.
Absolutely. Boy, I thought he did find the path to Zelda. I guess I was mistaken by his map cursors. I thought he had found the way to Zelda, but I guess not.
In theory, you would say yes, but where he was in the upper left corner of the skull. And while there is a secret room in the upper northeast corner of the skull where the red ring normally hides, there is none in the upper left corner of the skull. So it is a magical staircase situation. He's going to have to find the one staircase that takes him to the room above Zelda.
Wow, unbelievable. So yes, indeed, level 9 could be proving to be the great equalizer yet again.
Now, I did notice that the room that was directly south of Zelda was a reverse C room. That is a staircase room. Wouldn't it be funny if that was the magical staircase to get to Zelda?
That would be crazy, TG. And by the way, thank you very much for clearing that up, because I was so sure that this race was over when he defeated Ganon, but yeah, the path deceived me just a little bit, so yeah, thank you for clearing that up. Oh, another Patra.
Yep, so now the race is on where you have Crim, who is just looking to find a path through Zelda where he knows where she is. Core is trying to find not only Zelda, but the pig as well. So this is going to be very interesting because Core doesn't have the compass, but he could get lucky and stumble upon the right path.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, TGE, and we've seen that many a times in level 9.
So this is an interesting staircase here. It's going to give Crim a little bit more interesting round to play with here. He's going to be heading back the area he was in where he found Ganon and Zelda. So let's take a look and see what he does now.
That shutter door didn't open. Why?
Because that is 2 rooms to the south of Zelda, not 1.
Then what's guarding that room? I saw nothing in there.
He might not have had anything spawn at this point.
That is weird. That's why I thought that was Zelda's room. I thought that was 1 room above. It's actually 2 rooms above, so yeah. But it's still, why would that door not open? Oh boy, Ganon has been sighted by CoreZero. Got 1 hit on him. He's got to be careful. He's down to just 4 hearts. Hyrule Driver will cost him 1. There's 2 hits. There's 3 hits.
Yeah, but the one thing for Core is he does have a potion to play with. Meanwhile, there we go. We have the magical staircase takes him to the wrong side of Zelda.
Well, you called it reverse C, but unfortunately, that's not gonna lead him to Zelda. Wow, Zelda proving why she is the hide and seek champion. And right now, CoreZero is going to drink the red Kool-Aid just to be on the safe side, refilling his health back to 12 hearts. Just has a hit or 2 left on Ganon.
Crim, meanwhile, are going to be committing all kinds of patricide right here.
And that is the last hit on Ganon. Oh, missed on that first arrow, but nails Ganon on the second arrow and picks up the Triforce of Power. Folks, we have got a race.
Yeah, the crazy thing is Core doesn't know how close he is to Zelda right now.
Yeah, he is right there. And unfortunately, he's going to discover, well, he doesn't have the compass, and that is huge at this point. That's the advantage Crimson has over Core right now. Boy, what another great race we've had tonight here on the Zelda Randomizer Tournament, TGE.
Nothing but compliments for both these racers. Finally, Crim, meanwhile, getting a path to somewhere else, but that's not the somewhere else he wants.
Crimson now does have the map, so that'll give him a better way of marking his map, and it'll actually make it a little bit harder for me to read it.
I was going to say it makes it easier, because now I can see exactly where he is. And banana jam over on Core side of the screen, and Mr. Deo.
Lord Banana, he won't go home. Oh, all right, that's enough. Oh, shoot. Stuck in the horizontal shoot room, or the vertical shoot room, rather. Crimson not able to bomb his way up. He's going to take another path.
And hey, look, more Patra.
Because as you said, Patches just don't get enough love here in level 9.
And for those wondering, there are 5 total Patras in level 9. And the big thing, Crimson out of bombs again.
Ooh, my goodness gracious. Wow, this level 9 proving to be really trolly for Crimson. And yeah, Crimson and I, we were discussing how many patches are there in it, because we were thinking, is it 3? Is it 4? It's 5.
Oh, but we bet another staircase, and guess what's guarding this one? Another Patra!
This is incredible! Right now. Wow, but where's it going to take him? It's going to take him...
Exactly where he needs! Crim with the... And another Patra! All 5 Patras being seen, but Crim with the fist pump, and that's going to be it!
Crimson Avix, your winner. A magical staircase indeed was required. He has won. He's going to be moving on to the next round to face off against Jay Coper. What a race!
absolutely crazy race there.
That is just insane, TGE, that Zelda was being guarded by a trio of Patras. My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, because we saw all 5 Patras there. There was the 2 guarding Ganon, and then the 3 that were guarding Zelda. That's insane. Speaking of insane, we have got Crimson now here with us.
Crimson, congratulations on your victory. You played a really good race. I'll tell you that, what though, Zelda was trolling you for a little bit. It looked like you had found a direct path to Zelda right before the Ganon fight, but it turned out that was not the correct shutter room. So what were your thoughts about that level 9?
Well, that's actually what I thought. I'm like, okay, well, I know where a shutter door is, but it's actually 2 rooms south of Zelda instead of 1, and I didn't realize it until I hit the second Patra, and I'm like, oh, that might not have gotten me to where I need to, and when I searched around and didn't see a shutter door, I'm like, this is magic staircase, and this is gonna be annoying, because once I found the compass, I'm like, okay, I need to find a way to get over there, and I didn't mark my map, so after I updated the time after Ganon, I started marking my map and everything so I could track all my staircases, and luckily was able to find one. Of course, going through 4 Patras in the process.
Yeah, TGE mentioned you went through all 5 Patras in that level 9, because we were having that discussion about how many Patras there were, much like we did last night. My goodness, Patras did a better job guarding everything than Ganon could have ever done.
Yeah, they gave me a lot more fit than Ganon did. I mean, I did take a death to one of them, and yeah, I was actually afraid, and for a brief moment was considering actually leaving and trying to go get a potion just so I could, push my way through them, but I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go back and try to fight them, and ended up doing okay with them.
Not to interrupt here, but we do have Core on the path to Zelda. He's just going to have to pass through these last 2 Patras, and he's going to be ending up finishing up here. But the big question that everybody wants to know is, what was up with that retry, huh?
Yeah, if you're in Discord, I said, did I really just do that? Especially after just watching Cananophone do it the other day. I started up with 3 hearts, and I'm like, I swear I hit save, and then I remembered about a minute later, oh wait, I was using the second save file, so hit the retry, and was relieved to see that I still had my file there.
By the way, CoreZero has just picked up Zelda, so his race has come to an end. There's about 3 minutes behind you, a little less than 3 minutes behind you.
Yeah, good race with him then. Good job, Core. I see you're in here now. Good game.
Hello, thank you.
Hello, CoreZero. Nice to have you here. It was a really close race between the 2 of you all the way through. You kept following each other in the same dungeons pretty much the entire way. But Crimson got to level 9 a little bit before you did, and you both had a shot at winning because Zelda, as you saw, it required a magical staircase, and you actually had a chance to pull off the comeback because Zelda was giving him fits, but the one thing that Crimson had that you didn't have was the compass. That might have come in handy for you.
Yeah, I tend to just kind of bypass most of the rooms in 9 unless I feel I can clear it quickly. Because there's just so many rooms, taking the chance of finding the one compass drop, but it does help.
All right, so everybody is waiting in chat for me to ask this, and I know. So, how long did it take you to design that sprite, Crim?
It's about all the work that I put into it, including that little note that I had in the startup screen and everything else. In total, it took about 6 hours, and that includes the sprite. I actually had to replace one of the characters with the underscore so I could get your name right. And I also got in 2 practices with it just so I could learn. Because as you saw, like this, especially the block clips, the area where I had to line up was completely off. So it took a little bit to learn, but about 6 hours.
That is amazing. Now, the one other thing is you forced it to stay the blue palette the entire time. I got to give you props for that one.
I told you I was going to come big on that.
Boy, did you ever. That was some really clever designing there because, I mean, how are you able to pull that off to, when you get a red ring that the inferior model stays the inferior model, it doesn't turn red? How are you able to pull that off?
I actually went in, when I created the sprite, I went in and there's 4 different palettes. There's Link's palette, there's a red palette, a blue palette, and a special palette that bosses take. And I just set Link's palette to the blue palette, so no matter what I did, it would stay that blue palette except when he picked up items because I can't change that.
That was very clever of you. Well played on that design, and congratulations on your victory, Crimson. So you're moving on to the next round. You've got quite a tall order though, because your next opponent is going to be one of the more renowned Zelda randomizer racers of all time, in Jay Coper. So what are your thoughts about your upcoming race, Crimson?
Yeah, that's why I'm just going to enjoy this one because, yeah, Coper's going to be a big struggle. And then even if I make it through Coper, which I'm not counting on, but if I do make it through him, then I have K-Mac waiting for me right after him. So, yeah, that's quite the gauntlet to have to go through.
You just never know. Level 9 could be the great equalizer, and it almost did prove to be the great equalizer for you, Crimson, but you were able to hang on, and you did find Zelda first. So, again, congratulations. You're moving on to the next round.
Thanks a lot.
No problem. CoreZero, you had a really good race as well. Again, as I said, it was a neck-and-neck race. Could have gone either way. You entered level 9, I'd say, about 5 minutes before Crimson did. Again, both of you defeated Ganon, so it was just a matter of who found Zelda first. To go over the seed with us, what were your thoughts about it overall?
Well, I felt that was a very easy seed. I think that's one of the faster randomizer completions I've had on the tournament flags or anything similar. I felt like everything was just flowing really fast, found the ladder early, actually found a sword early rather than 55 minutes in. So I felt like everything was flowing really well, and then I got to the point where I only needed to find level 2, and I was panicking just a bit because I was moving pretty quickly, not marking things carefully, so I had a moment of panic that I hadn't marked it down or I had missed it, but then thankfully I found it relatively quickly without having to go through all of Death Mountain or anything like that. So I feel like I did pretty well, and I feel like it was a pretty easy seed. It really does come down to level 9 sometimes and the path you choose to take.
All right, so Core, I have to ask now because you have been a part of both races where there have been people out to get me with Lord Banana trolling. So I'm going to put the blame on you here and the impetus on you because it's all your fault here. How does it make you feel?
Well, I've been told to blame you, so I don't know. I blame you for everything else.
That was a very good counter there, CoreZero. I love it.
Very, very good answer. I did see the question here about next race. Next race is going to start in about 10 minutes or so, and that's going to be over on twitch.tv/jcoper. And then in about, a half an hour from now, give or take, we're going to have another race right here on Jam's channel. So we got 2 more races for you guys tonight.
Yes, indeed. They should be some very exciting races indeed. By the way, if you have any other questions for our contestants, TGE?
No, I think I've got everything covered that I wanted to take care of.
All right. Thank you very much both for your time. Again, Crimson, you're going to be moving on to the next round. CoreZero, unfortunately, that was your second loss. But did you have a lot of fun participating in the tournament? And did you have a nice experience? What would you do the next time?
I had a lot of fun. I really enjoy the randomizer. I've been following it and playing it off and on since it was released. So I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it. I just didn't have the time I would have liked to practice and really get into good shape. And I know a lot of people in the race have played quite a bit. So just to do as well as I did, I'm pretty happy. And in the next one, I will be back, and I will be ready to compete again.
That is great. That's good news to your CoreZero. We do look forward to having you back in another Zelda Randomizer tournament in the near future. Again, congratulations on your tournament. You have a good rest of the night, and hope you enjoy the rest of the tournament.
Good night, and good race, Crimson.
Thanks, you too.